going on, people? We're gonna get away for a little bit. Rained a little bit earlier today, but should hold off for the rest of the day. Might be some wet spots though, so I'm gonna head over to the clubhouse and help Joker unload a new fridge. We have a fridge, but one fridge isn't enough for a clubhouse. Gotta have at least two, not more than that. So one record of change, I did reposition the mic a little bit. I noticed earlier videos, all my test videos, my bass just was, especially with the helmet closed, very bassy, like very muffled, which I might just have to EQ it. That just might be what it is. But maybe if I aim the mic a little more directly towards my voice, it might be a little better too. Because I kind of had it stuffed behind the cheek pad pretty good, which I've heard some people do that. So, but definitely sounded muffled. So we'll try it out this way. We'll see if it stays where it's supposed to stay, and then see how it sounds. And then if that doesn't make a big difference, I'm just gonna have to EQ the audio when we do video recordings, which I'm fine with. Yeah, we'll go. Woo! Fun times. I almost jumped on the Ninja today, but it's been sitting in the garage for a while. I think I need to take it for a test ride a little more locally, just in case something happens with it, which I don't foresee it. I mean, it only has like 5,000-6,000 miles on it or something like that. But you know, I checked the tire pressure on it, that was good, and it should be all right. But it's about a 30-35 minute drive to the clubhouse, so I don't want to get halfway there when they're expecting me to be there to help with something too, and then break down and probably have them come rescue me. Pretty warm today. It's in the low 80s right now, I think. Maybe up to the mid 80s today, but we're starting to get into summertime. Summertime, summertime, summertime. I'm looking forward to it though. May need to revisit getting a summer jacket. The jacket I got it's not bad, but I would imagine once it gets into the 90s and stuff, it'll be pretty warm. I do have an old Joe Rocket jacket that should work. It has the zip out lining and stuff. It might be a little cooler, but I think it's too small for me anyways though. I got it like from a factory direct, going out of business sale or something, like I don't know, 10-15 years ago or something. Gosh, how long has it been? Dang, man, it actually is like 12-13 years ago. It works, but man, it hugs you. We'll say I've been watching some Rumi Official on YouTube. He's been pretty funny. I like him because he does a lot of music stuff, which I can relate to, playing music, and he's a pretty goofy kid from Sweden, not Switzerland, Sweden. Swedish. Big difference between Swedish and Swiss. I just point that out because of the video he did recently where he was doing like a challenge where people had to create rap songs without using the letter E in any word, and one guy did it. He did a phenomenal job, but he used some slogan in it where he referred to Rumi as Swiss, which, that's an easy mistake to make, but it's one of those things, if you don't know, you don't know. Now, speaking of weird things, when it comes to living in small town Alabama, they don't have a recycle truck or center, which is crazy. That blows my mind. At least this town doesn't. I mean, I'm sure there might be some other towns around here, but recycle pickup is not an option. which I can hear all my, like, growing up through elementary school, you know, they like kind of beat that in their head about recycling and stuff. And now I don't have the option to. I'm like, what? It's so weird. It just feels weird throwing like milk bottles and Coke cans and other plastics into the garbage. It takes up too much space. That's probably the biggest reason I liked recyclables, is it just gave me another outlet to throw things away. Maybe that's something I can look into one day and see why we don't. And I'd imagine there's some type of federal grants to get like recycling as a function in your city, right? I mean, there has to be something that makes it somewhat of a balance or a profit. Doing something with the trash is definitely better than just throwing plastics into landfills and stuff. So who knows what they do. I could be ignorant, but word on the street I heard is that they don't do recyclables at all. See if we can catch this light. Go, buddy, go. Go, buddy, go. What do you do? Okay, good. I don't know if you're turning or not. I'll have to take a tour through the little town area someday. Hamilton High School. Go Aggies. Old Hamilton Drive-In. That place has been shut down for decades now. When Sonic came in, darn those franchises. What's up, dude? They look like they're on a long road trip. They got packing bags and everything. It's pretty cool. Red light, green light. And these red lights are something else though. They got sensors, but sensors don't really, I don't think they use them. Like a lot of the, you know, the town's so small that the traffic and stuff, they end up just, they just rotate the light, you know? I'm sure maybe in the late nights it switches over to the sensor part or something, but they don't, I mean, ever since I've been here, they don't have traffic problems here. And again, that's what's so ridiculous. I think all the MotoVlogs I watch, they spend most of their time in traffic, which, you know, that there's a lot of content comes from that because of stupid people, or, you know, majority of accidents happen in intersections and things like that. So there's a lot of content that comes from it, but I was kind of thinking of Walterific, who's been around for a while. And I liked a lot of his content, but you know, he would use those silly emojis or emote faces. I don't even know official name for them and stuff, but they you know, he uses them to depict his facial reactions kind of in a funny way, so it's pretty entertaining. But something like that wouldn't fly for me, like here, because like right now my face would just be like doo-doo-doo, like I'm just riding on the road, that's it. And then once every like 10 minutes I might switch to the what the crap is this person doing, or you know, being like the O face when I see a puppy dog or something like that. Oh, hello puppy. But other than that, that doesn't really work for me in the situation I'm in. Whee! No, speed limit is 45. You should probably watch that. So there's one speed sign. One of the videos I did, I was like, I've never seen a speed limit sign, but apparently there is one. 45 looks good. But it's so hard to go 45 on this road. So this is kind of a random thought, but so in riding motorcycles, most of my time has been down in Florida where it's flat, you know, there's no hills or anything, and so I didn't have to deal much with hills, which I've driven, you know, plenty of stick shift cars. And you know, my last car I owned before the one I have now was a WRX, which was a 6-speed, and you know, so I'm fine on hills and stuff like that, and it works. I'm fine on a motorcycle going up hills, but I was kind of thinking, like, when I'm going down like really steep hills and using the engine to brake, it kind of made me wonder about the engineering aspect behind that. Like, is that bad on the motor to engine brake that hard, you know? Or I mean, I would think it would be fine, but I kind of pretty much like the hill that's when I leave my house, man, that fifth gear feels so good even at high speeds. Not even in six. But yeah, the hill, like, I use kind of a combination of the brake and the engine braking when I go down it, and I feel comfortable with that. But it did make me wonder, like, if I just strictly used only engine braking going down a hill, which I don't think you really can, because you'll end up, I think the weight of the bike going down the hill and the momentum would end up getting your RPMs up pretty high, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna have to research that, or any future people watching this, share your thoughts on it. Some engineers out there, some mechanical engineers, bikes. I can do the software and computer side of things, but so I'm always curious how things work, but it's not my expertise. I don't know. I know enough to get me in trouble, and that's it. No, is it just? I think that's another biker thing. Maybe even more so on a Harley. Granted, these Milwaukee 8 engines, apparently they have the stabilizers in them to offset some of the shakiness, which I think a lot of the, you know, older or more experienced, should I say, Harley Davidson riders, they weren't really a fan of it getting rid of some of that shakiness. You know, that's kind of what makes a Harley a Harley. So apparently they put the stabilizers, I guess, in these Milwaukee 8s, but they toned it down a little bit so it still has some shake, so it's not completely smooth, which is kind of funny. But even just that little bit of rattle, like, I think I'm just getting old and I'm getting more nose hairs and stuff, but after you ride for a while with that rattle, my nose just tingles. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Another beautiful day though. Wonder what these people are doing. Oh, I think that's like a parking spot. There's like 5 mailboxes there. There must be 5 houses down there. Just a wild guess. That's one thing that's going to kind of stink. Like, I love my full face helmet. I'm comfortable in it. It does get a little hot in the summer times, and some of the guys in the club were picking on me for a full face helmet, I'm pretty sure, because it's not as cool. It feels pretty good with the wind against your face. I will say though, you do have to have like some type of ear protection for like long rides, or if you don't have a windshield. I took the windshield off, and I think I might have mentioned that the other day, but had the windshield off this thing. I love the way this thing looks with the windshield off. It looks good, but long rides, man, that windshield helps a ton. Especially if you don't have the full face helmet on, you have like just a half face helmet on, or half helmet, not really half face. That wind can get loud. Granted, the helmet I had, it was like the flaps on the side were even like vibrating at like a certain pitch in my ear, and that was more annoying than anything. But I could see how you want to wear ear protection or something when you're wearing one of those helmets. So I think one of the next things I want to buy is some foot pegs for riding on the highway. I've heard they make it really comfortable. It makes sense, where you can just kind of sit back and chill when you don't have to worry about shifting or doing anything for a while. I gotta find me a pair of those that I'd like eventually. not a priority. It's kind of a fun thing. I still think a 360 camera would be cooler. Hey, donkey. And stop sign. Alright. Probably should have took the highway to get over. But these roads are too much fun. They just add on another 10-15 minutes though. Well, maybe like 10 minutes. It's not that much of a difference. These people are gonna like know who I am. I pretty much come by here a couple times a week. Be like, who's that guy? Keeps riding by on the motorcycle all the time. The pretty horsies. There's a little donkey there too. I think he's a donkey. He's kind of a weird mix. He has some big ears for a horse. That's funny too. A fire hydrant that's like halfway underground. I really doubt that that thing is functional. There's no way. Because the ground and the grass. It's not even grass growing up around it. The ground has grown up around it. So it's like, there's no way they've tested that thing, or who knows. Redbird, stay away. My mirrors. I don't want your bird poop. Excuse me. Dodging the patches in the ground. See if we can dodge on some more. Ooh. I don't know about those. Squeezing in between the lines. Just trying not to ride on the yellow line too, but I don't know, what do we do? That was kind of a fun little game. I like this. Oh no, can't avoid this patch. We're dead. I can't stop myself from doing it now. Oh, it's the little things in life. I still don't know this road though. Like, I've never seen any cars really on it, so. There's our cliff. Where are the cows? Where'd they go? I wonder if they like, it's probably getting hot, so they're probably like in shade or something. I don't see the cows. There's a lot of land there though, who knows. Ah! Get up! Ah! Got like a bug in my visor. Ah! Is it gone? I think it's gone. That was weird. He like went up under my glasses, so he was in my glasses with my eyeball. And it wasn't like a fly or a gnat. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of bigger than that. And bump. And another bump. Ooh. Gotta slow down. The nose is itching again. House build project. Still working on it. Town of Brilliant. That might get old, but you know what? It's what goes off in my head every single time I see it. So, hello, Michael. Fire park out of the way since we're unloading our fridge. Alright, I want to take this helmet off. I might record on the way home, if not, deuces.